Happy Wednesday. Good class today. Looks like Green Sweat won. It goes back and forth. It depends on the day, depends on the argument. But I like that one because sometimes purple farts win. All right. So for homework, you're going to read chapter 11 or let the book read to you. I'm going to show you how to get there. Here's our Blackboard shell. And let's go down to course resources. And you'll see the textbook right here. Click on that. Textbook will come up. You can read it right from this page, or you can use the version on the Vital Source bookshelf, which is the one I like to use. It just seems more stable. You'll go to chapter 11, which is in part 2. And from here, you can just hit read aloud.
Chapter 11. What is compare and contrast?
And as long as your hardware doesn't break down on you, it'll read to you. What happened here? I don't know what happened with the program, but okay.
What is comparison and contrast?
All right, there it is.
In the narrowest sense, comparison shows how two or more things are similar.
So you're going to read the chapter, the contents of the chapter, and then at the end of the chapter, there are some professional essays and examples of compare and contrast writings, starting with John McWhorter. If you have something to say, then say it. And then we have O'Connor and the rest of these. Choose one of these. Choose at least one of these. If you're having it read to you and you're just chilling, read them all. Let them all read to you. These are good examples, and they're good examples of compare and contrast, and it'll get your mind ready or prepared for the critical essay. All right, after that, so there was reading chapter 11, there was ChompChomp.com. So let's go back to our shell and course resources also. Down below the no and tips is a page called ChompChomp Grammar Exercises. You click on that, and I have links to grammar exercises, subjects and grammar exercises, for grammar exercises that if I put this on your paper, like if you have a comma issue, I might say practice some ChompChomp.com for these commas to get commas right. If you notice a pattern, an error pattern in your writing, practice on ChompChomp.com. I have used these for years because grammar rules are the same generally, and they haven't really changed. But I've used these for years. I used to tutor people before they took the placement exams so that when they test it, they'll get into the credited course instead of the non-credited course. And yeah, they're good. For example, let's try subject verb agreement. And interactive exercise 1. Some of these are like fill in the blank. This is a fill in the blank one. Some of them are multiple choice. And they're different. They might do different things. Like if you get it right, it might throw confetti or something, but let's see what this one does. So in this one, they give you the infinitive form of the verb, and then you have to put the conjugated form in the blank. So to have is an infinitive form. In English, usually is like to, and then the base verb, that's the infinitive form. So to have, conjugating it is I have, you have, he, she, it has, we have, they have. So it's one of those. So the cracked windshield, in addition to the torn upholstery and rusted body, has made Ruth's old car difficult to sell. Then you type it in, has, check my work, perfect choice. Windshield is the subject. Ignore the words in the prepositional phrase beginning with in addition to. The subject of a sentence is never part of the prepositional phrase. So if you get it wrong, so let's see what happens if you get it wrong. This one is to be. Conjugating to be is I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, they are. So this week's National Inquisitor claims that there are photographs of the Loch Ness Monster eating Elvis. So I'm going to put is here just to get it wrong, see what happens. Sorry, you have not entered the right form of the verb. So let's put are there. Perfect choice. Every time the rule comes up for the grammar rule thing, read it. So on some of them, if you get it wrong, it'll tell you what the rule is so that you can get it right. But every time that rule comes up, read it. It'll solidify that rule in your mind so that when you're writing, you'll be sure to choose the right verb conjugation for subject verb agreement. If well, yeah, leave it at that. So this is ChompChomp, and there are other exercises that you can choose from. Word choice, comma splices, and fused sentences. Comma splices are when you have a comma where a period belongs. Fused sentences, that's another term for run-on sentences. Fragments, parallel structure. When you do these exercises, if you choose one to do, or if I assign you one to do, if you get at least 85% on that set of exercises, you're good. If you get below 85%, then go on to exercise number 2. And if you don't get 85% on that one, go on to exercise number 3 and practice it until you get the hang of that rule so that it becomes automatic to you. This is good for people who are just bad with grammar. This is good for people for whom English is not their first language. This is good just to keep your skills sharp. I still do it when I assign it, just to keep my skills sharp so I can know how to explain those rules. All right, so what's next? So we have the reading, we have ChompChomp.com, and there was something I forgot to put on the homework board, so I'm going to hold it off until next week, but it's still there for you to see, so I'm going to show it to you and explain it now. So in lessons, since we're in the critical essay part now, part of the critical essays is journal assignments. And journal assignments are always, unless otherwise stated, 3-paragraph essays where you must exhibit standard MLA format, you must exhibit good essay structure, and you must include the particular task of that particular assignment. It must be a Word or PDF submission, just like our formal essays, and you get 100% for completing the journal assignment completing it correctly. You get 50% if anything's wrong with it, because nothing should be wrong with it. And you get 0% if you don't submit it. These are the points for these go in the quiz category. So if we open that up, you'll see that the first one is called Letter to My Past Self. And it's supposed to be due next week, but I made it for the week after next since I didn't put it on the board. But in this one, you'll write a letter to yourself from 10 years ago. What's one of the most important messages you'd like to tell yourself when you were 10 years younger? 3 paragraphs, MLA format, essay structure, and you may write in a letter format within MLA standard, or just simply use MLA essay format. I'll assign this next week, so that is due the following week. But if you want to get it done ahead of time, feel free. All right, that's reading the chapter and doing ChompChomp.com. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or sign up for an office hour, and I'll see you next week.